Good morning. I'm trying out a new deck here, or at least, interesting, I've changed cues again. I'm trying out an Amulet of Vigor deck, which does some really stupid broken things. Um, what it does is, let's get cards up. Amulet of Vigor untaps permanents when they come into play under my control. And that combos very nicely with the sanctuaries and that enter the battlefield tapped and produce 2 mana. This hand will keep this. Now I'm not playing against anybody because this is basically a combo deck. It's modern. Well, let's start out and just drop the Amulet of Vigor on turn 1. We generally need green, so we'll just get a breeding pool, pay the life, play the amulet. Now, this could be really dead because there's nothing going on here. I need to actually draw a creature or Summoner's Pact or something. Summoner's Pact would be a little dangerous, actually, but we'll see how this goes. Don't think I just want to play a Time Warp turn 2. Yeah, we're just going to play this tapped and go to turn 3. See, this is the problem I've been having with the deck. It tends to flood out. So let's just... Yeah, I keep looking to see if there's something cool I can do here, but not really. Alright, there we go. So this is turn 4. So we're going to get ourselves a Primeval Titan here. And if I do this right, we should even be able to attack with it and possibly play the Time Warp as well. So, play the Summer Bloom, so we can play 4 lands this turn. So play this, stack this so that the untap happens first. Untap it, turn it to hand, play it. That's too dangerous to auto yield. Don't really have to pay the life because we can cast this guy. Yes. And we will get Slayer's Stronghold and Spinerock Knoll. So we're going to give our creature haste. And now Wargate is a cool way to fetch things like Amulet of Vigor and so forth. But X is going to be 0 if we hide it, so basically what we'll be getting is another land. Mosswort Bridge could be amusing. We'll hide that under there. It's a shame that isn't untapped, but we can play that next turn. So then we can attack. And let's get Mosswort Bridge and Vesuva. Yeah, Vesuva will work. It'll come into play as a copy of that. So we can, under the Mosswort Bridge, we can put another Titan. The Spine Rock Knoll, I think this is. We can hide ourselves. Boy, there's not much there. We'll put an Ancient Summoning under there. All right. Oh, I meant to copy 2. Oh well, I screwed up. Which is actually amazingly easy to do in this. Had I made 2 Spine Rock Knolls, I could use one of them. So I can't quite cast this yet, but what I can do is there value to getting that out? No, I'm just going to take an extra turn, I believe. So we're just doing the same thing to generate some more mana. And what do we want to return? I have plenty of mana here, so let's pick up something that isn't as important. Managing mana is the toughest part of this. I could pick up the Slayer's Stronghold and play it again. Do I have 1 or 2 returns left? I've lost track. Okay, I don't have any returns left. So we'll just play Time Warp. And pass the turn. So now what we can do is we can play Lotus Cobra. Play our land for the turn. Let's see, I've got red. I want red. Untap that, tap that. Then use this ability to give that haste. Then we can use this, since we now have 10 powers worth of creatures, and cast the Primeval Titan. Now what we're actually going to want is red, but not until after. So we'll drop in a Boros Garrison and Spine Rock Knoll. Actually, it doesn't matter because, well, we can use blue because we can always transmute it for something. We can technically transmute Teleria West if there was something else to get. Let's return Slayer's Stronghold, because we're going to be able to untap that this turn. And we can hide something under Spine Rock Knoll, and there's nothing much here to hide. Let's just stick a land under there. So, now, I didn't use that Primeval Titan, but I basically now have the ability to cast Spine Rock Knoll, and after damage, if I just attack with this guy, I will deal damage, and then I will be able to use both Spine Rock, or any of the Spine Rock Knolls. I'd probably tap this one for mana to cast the Mosswort Bridge. The Mosswort Bridge will untap whatever's under that. But of course, is there anything worth transmuting for? Let me just think for a second. Summoner's Pact. I don't really think it matters. If I wanted to be ridiculous here, I could pact for another Lotus Cobra or Primeval Titan, but we will just go ahead and bash. And that'll allow me to bring in some more lands. We'll just bring in Temple Garden and Vesuva. And Vesuva, don't I have a Mosswort Bridge in play? Yeah, I do. Copy Mosswort Bridge. No, I'm not going to pay 2 life. Now, I haven't actually dealt damage yet, so I can't trigger the Spine Rock Knolls, but it's not very exciting, actually. A Time Walk or draw multiples would have been much more fun. No, I'm in the middle of combat, so there's no point in getting mana here, because it's still before damage, so then I take damage, and now I can use this. Oops, let's not do that. I've already played a land this turn, so that's not going to work. So let's just play this one. Now we can use that to pay for the mana, and then oops, did I not do that correctly? Oh, duh. I'm playing solitaire. I'm not my own opponent, so there's no legal target. Or nobody was dealt damage, so that does not work. I can do this, though. So I just pay a green, and I can explore. And I can draw another explorer, which really doesn't help me too much, but we can cast it. That'll get me an Ancient Stirrings. I can play the Lotus Cobra. And get nothing of value. And frankly, I'm just dinking around here because I've got plenty of damage next turn. I've got all kinds of triggers. I'm just going to concede now because this just continues to go on. You can see now why I'm not playing against a real opponent, simply because this deck is silly, and I'm either going to be playing against a real deck, which is going to be countering stuff and bashing me, or more probably I'm going to be playing against something that manages to do me a little damage, and I will dink around for 20 minutes and go off or not. But it really doesn't help my opponents much to see this. So we'll concede. And that was basically my turn 4, which if you look at this, 2 Primeval Titans, all these lands, is kind of nifty for turn 4. And that's actually not that fast with this deck. I think I could have actually played this a little better. And I started out, if you remember, the first couple turns, I had nothing, and I was just dumping lands and hoping to draw something that would let me move. So that's kind of an overview of what the deck does.